I'm back. And I already need another vacation. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. It's been 3 weeks since I recorded my last video. I'm trying to remember everything, and hopefully I can get back into the swing of things. What did I do while I was gone? A lot. I thought about doing a separate video of everything I did, but some of the video clips that I recorded, also known as B-roll, I can't play the audio attached to it, and they don't always seem as much fun without the audio. So I just said I will do things for uh, little clips of it so I don't get flagged for copyright, and I'll just do the highlights here. The flight up, it was fairly uneventful. I did get an extra 45-minute layover in Baltimore. It was, I guess, scheduling or something, not sure why, but I was kind of thankful for that because if it wasn't for that extended layover, I wouldn't have been able to eat dinner. Because I think I was in Baltimore dinner time, obviously. Uh, so I was able to go to the Chick-fil-A and grab me a bite to eat. I was a little disappointed I could not find the crab place in the airport that I ate last time I flew. I don't know whether it was in a different terminal than I landed in or was flying out of, or whether I just didn't go far enough down, or what the deal was. Didn't matter. I wouldn't have been able to sit and eat. I don't think I would have had enough time for that. But I did get, like I said, the Chick-fil-A. I got to sit and relax for a few minutes before I got through. I was a little excited to find out that they moved rental cars in the Hartford airport, Windsor Locks Airport, whichever one you want to call it. It is now basically I'm going to use the term loosely, attached to the airport. It's in the parking garage. That is where the airport is. Before we had to catch a shuttle, which it was time taking waiting for the shuttle, getting shuttled over to the rental car place, and then you had to get in line again, and before you can pick up your vehicle. It's all been streamlined where you just walk like 3 minutes over from baggage claim to where the rental cars are, and very quick to pick up. I did get to my sister's about 9:45, and even though this picture is fuzzy, I think you could tell she was ecstatic to be able to see me again. The first major event that we did while I was up there was Drag Queen Bingo. It had been years since I played bingo, and the event was slightly delayed because there was a scheduling mishap for the dates there. Uh, but they said they still wanted to do it. It got to be like an hour, maybe an hour and a half later than normal, but we got everybody in, everybody settled. Mr. Janaya was an awesome host and a superb performer. As I mentioned earlier, I can't exactly give sound, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a view on how awesome everything was. They did have a curtain call at 10 or 10:30 next door where they had to perform. So we already knew that there was going to be either really rushed bingo or actually we weren't certain what was going to happen. But they ended up bringing us over next door for the show that they were doing. Each of them did a song at the show there, and then we all got back, settled in to finish the game. The second round, though, which was before the curtain call intermission, They joke is the longest round played each night that they do it. They do it the last Thursday of the month, and this is always the longest round. Why? Because the prize is the scary doll. They found this month's scary doll up in the attic of someone's house. I forget whose house it was. And she was covered in bees when they found her. So her name is Bee. Uh, I won that round. So B became mine. I was able to hop on stage to have my picture taken with the hosts, so they could have a picture to identify the body later. I got her shipped home, and here she is. Isn't she wonderful? Kind of scary too, but this has been a joy. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put her yet. I think I'm going to have her in the background of my work video calls. So hopefully, I can find a good place to put her and have her show up. It's just going to be a lot of fun to torment my coworkers with her. My sister ended up winning a prize later on, and my niece also won a really awesome print. To be honest, I'm kind of jealous of the print, but nobody would trade me the doll for any of the other prizes. Don't understand why. My quick searches on the Googles didn't come up with anything to share for the picture of the print, but I'm going to try to get my sister or my niece to send me a photo of the print so I can share it. Basically, it looks like um, a portrait of Christopher Columbus from way back in the day, except cat head. So the entire body looks like a normal print that you would expect, but a really cool cat head. I was kind of jealous that I didn't win that, but I love the fact that I won the scary doll. That I think is slightly better. Uh, at the end of it, I did get the honor of getting a normal picture taken with Janaya, just to help solidify the memories. They were a lot of fun. I'm kind of jealous that I can't go to Drag Queen Bingo every month because it's a lot of fun. My sister, so yeah, I'm jealous that she gets to go as often as she does. The next morning, though, my sister and we went to go see The Little Mermaid. It was basically because Janaya had said that they were going to go see it the next morning as well. And we're like, oh, yeah, it is coming out. Let's go see it. I know at this point, the movie's a couple weeks old. So hopefully there's no spoilers at this point. They did a wonderful adaptation of it. I loved everything about it except during some of the swimming scenes. The hair wasn't quite moving with swimming physics as they were moving pretty fast. The hair was still just moving slow as if they were sitting still. Minor little details I kind of expect more from Disney at times, but it still was wonderful. So I call that minor in the whole thing. I was hoping a little that they would have put the song "I Want the Good Times Back" from the musical, but it didn't happen. I'm sure it probably didn't happen because there's a whole lot of belting in that song, and that is just really hard to get on good soundtracks and everything. A little disappointed that they cut Les Poissons out of it. That is one of my favorite songs in it just because it's so much fun. But we did get the addition of a song from Prince Eric, and that was awesome. I am really looking forward it. I am really looking forward to it coming out on Blu-ray at some point in the future. That's definitely going to be in the purchase list. Not sure when it's going to come out on streaming. If you can see it in theaters, I would recommend it. But I would definitely, if you just don't like going to theaters or you don't want to spend $700 at a theater, because yeah, that could go well for fabric purchasing. Definitely watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. It was a little amusing. And kind of ironic, uh, Friday evening we went out for sushi. That was planned. Watching The Little Mermaid was an unplanned event, but we had already previously planned to go out to dinner at sushi with my sister and a couple of her coworkers who love me to pieces as well. So just found it a little bit amusing with that. It was very tasty, very much like I remember. Again, I kind of wish that I can go more often, but here it happens. Sunday was my sister's Memorial Day shindig that she has every year. Per usual, it was a blast. I made my bacon peanut butter bars, which I will link to a video here. I think this is the side. Uh, they were awesome. Everybody seemed to love them. She made all the other food pretty much, but she also made Kool-Aid pickles. Yes, I said Kool-Aid pickles. I guess she saw them on Facebook or TikTok. Not sure which, but I'm just going to tell y'all, don't do it. Please don't do it. She used watermelon flavored Kool-Aid. I guess what you do is you take your pickle spheres and you remove a little bit of the juice because you need to have some room. You pour a packet of Kool-Aid in and some sugar, and it infuses the flavor into the pickles, which already taste delicious on their own. Uh, like I said, she used watermelon Kool-Aid, and that was just way too strange. I think it was a lot of the artificial watermelon didn't go well with pickles. There's that small chance that another flavor might have worked, but I don't believe it. Don't try watermelon pickles. If you have tried watermelon pickles and you like them, let me know in the comments. If you tried them and you didn't like them, let me know as well. If you want to try them, go try them and let me know how you like them. On Tuesday, I had my anytime I go up, I need to hang out with Carla visit or Carla Day. Uh, I've known Carla for like 25 plus years, and it's to the point where I'm not even going to do the math to figure out exactly how many years I've known her. Uh, we ended up going to get a couples massage in Agawam. Now, like like I said, we've known each other for 25 years. Anytime I'm up there, we have to hang out. So we aren't against pushing the envelope to confuse people and save a dollar or two. So couples massage is what we did. It was really nice. We had both been very stressed out with work, and getting that little bit of relaxation, getting a couple knots worked on and everything. The lady even walked on me for a minute. That was a little strange, but really worked out some of my knots. I probably should go get yet another one, but I want work to calm down a little bit more before I do that. For lunch, we ended up going to this restaurant called Nadim's. Nadim's. I'm not sure how the name's pronounced, but it's in Springfield. We got there 1 minute before they were scheduled to start shutting down everything for the end of their lunch so they could have that break between lunch and dinner. The host at the front counter initially wasn't going to seat us. He saw that there was still a minute. He's like, well, I'll still seat you. And we're like, if you're concerned, we can go find someplace else. We're not that intent on eating here. I mean, it was a nice place to eat, but we don't want to also interfere with their regular schedule. And he goes, no, the kitchen's still running. If you know what you want and everything, we can get you in and out fairly quickly. So we promised that we would be quick. I had asked which one of the two main courses that I was debating between, which I don't remember what they were, that the waitress preferred. And she goes, definitely this one. So that's what I ordered. And Carla, I don't remember what she ordered, but it looked delicious too. And Carla also said that there was a dessert that she had seen or that she had in the past, and she was wondering if they had it. And the waitress was like, "Yeah, we've got that and everything." And we weren't expecting the dessert to come out because we knew the kitchen was shutting down, but it did come out, and it was delicious. Yeah, don't know what it is, but like loved every piece of it. Afterwards, we sat outside for a little bit in the beautiful weather and just chit chatted. We had some conversations about this, that, the other thing, talking about, how work was crazy and, you know, lack of love life on my part. But yeah, either way, it was still great. Thursday, though, was the highlight of the trip. Short story long, about a week and a half before my trip, I had seen a picture on Facebook of a really cool tattoo. Uh, I ended up pasting it into the family chat, and just with a comment of me saying, "I kind of like this." My cousin goes, "I love it. Let's go get tattoos while you're here." Because I was supposed to have a day that I was just hanging out with her. That hanging out with her day kind of fell through because she had to play host to other people coming into town, and you know I can see her basically anytime that I go up there. So next time we'll have our family day. Uh, so yeah, she was like, "I love it. Let's go get tattoos while you're here." And then my sister comes in and says, "I want to have a part of that." And then my other cousin that was coming in, she wanted in as well. So the initial thing of me posting, "I kind of like this tattoo," ended up like pushing into four of us want to get a tattoo while I'm up there. So Gigi sends a text message off to her tattoo artist that has done a number of tattoos on her saying, "Hey, do you have any availability on these couple days that everybody's going to be in town?" And he did on June 1st have some availability in the afternoon. And so we were all in. We did get themed tattoos and we all loved them. And it was like partially into the day where we realized, oh, we're all getting Pride themed tattoos on the first day of Pride month. So yeah, it was really cool. I'm a little disappointed that trying to show my tattoo on camera is a little difficult because it's on the twisty part of my wrist. But hey, it's easier just to kind of show people forward hand and everything. It works. Saturday was the main reason I headed up to Massachusetts at that time. It was my aunt's celebration of life. I had basically said, "I don't care when you're having it, I'm coming up." The timing of it was unplanned for everything else. I was able to, like, it was June 3rd. That was a celebration of life. I knew the previous weekend was my sister's Memorial Day, and it just happened to be the previous Saturday or previous Thursday was going to be drag queen bingo. So I just made an extended trip out of it and give me time to see a bunch of friends. A ton of people showed up, and I did make my bacon peanut butter bars again for that, and people were coming in and saying, "Hey," or were picking them like, "These are good," and then I would tell them what's in it, and they're like, "Oh, I need to have more. I need the recipe." So I pointed a handful of people to the recipe, but there, like I said, a ton of people showed up. There were several people who came up to me specifically and said that they loved the video that I made for the story of Chuchi Linda's quilt, which I'm going to link here, this side, because it was the first day of Vlogmas. I don't know if a lot of you viewers have seen back then. I almost didn't do Vlogmas because of the timing of her passing. it just kind of put me in a funk. And then I just decided, hey, I want to do this really awesome tribute to her just to say how awesome she is. So yeah, if you have time, go look at this video. It's touching. Everybody loved it. I also really believe that Gigi did an awesome job with the photo collage that she did. You can see, how gorgeous Chechi Linda was, and just you can always see the brightness that she brought to everybody. And uh, Linda and Gigi, they were like two peas in the pod. They were just perfect with each other. It was just super wonderful. I loved seeing the pictures, and every time I get seeing through the photo album, it just brought tears to my eyes just thinking how awesome everything was. So after that, Sunday was just quiet, and I flew back on Monday. When I got to the airport up in Hartford, I got to see these really cool Lego exhibits that they had going on there. It was a nice little break that I was able to take a look at, how much effort was put into these, and just how gorgeous they came out. I love them. I had to take a couple pictures. It was just a nice little break while I was trying to settle in and wait until it was late enough for me to grab a quick bite to eat before the plane trips. It was an uneventful ride. It was like nice weather, everything. I guess I had just missed the Canadian smoke because nothing really looked out of the ordinary. Although I think we kept the windows shut because they like to keep the windows shut in the winter. Something they don't want to run the air conditioners. I said winter, I meant summer. Um, when I got back to Atlanta, I got off the plane and tried to walk all the way back to baggage claim like I normally do. And they had that last little stretch shut down for whatever reason. I'm sure they're doing more awesome improvements to the airport. So I had to get on the people mover for that last like 500,000 feet. I forget how far it is between Terminal T and baggage claim. So yeah, there was that. I usually, like I said, prefer to walk it. Picked up my bag and got to the rideshare pickup, and I had a pretty awesome Uber driver. Uh, it was, so much fun just chit chatting with him that I didn't realize that he took 285 to get me home instead of the connector straight up. And it wasn't until we were almost back to my house that I realized, mostly because I wasn't paying attention to the signs, and because I'm not driving, I don't need to pay attention to signs. And like I said, he was just wonderful to chit chat with and everything. So that was like the highlight of the trip back home, besides the really cool Legos. When I got into the door, I got an earful from the cats. I had neighbors checking in on the cats just to make sure they continue to have food and water and were fine with everything. And like they would even come out and say hi to the neighbors. One would say hi to one neighbor and the other would say hi to the other neighbor. A little weird, but it's okay. I didn't get to pick up Riley until Tuesday after work. Yeah, I did go to work the next day. I think I need to start taking a padding day if I do a flight home, because I was exhausted at work and it was a little rough just getting back into the swing of things after having traveled all day the day before. But when I got to pick up Riley, she was very, very thrilled to see me. I don't think you could tell from these pictures, but she did cuddle up on the couch with me basically the entire evening because, uh, you know, daycare wore her out for 2 weeks. I did visit 4 quilt shops while I was up there. And this video is already way too long. So I am going to do a separate fabric haul video just to share everything that I gave. I'm probably going to record that video sometime this week because there are projects in there that I need to start working on sooner than later because they are going to people in like 2 months. I happen to find awesome projects for certain quilts. So I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to publish it, but I can tell you that it will be recorded this week. And even though I have been away from my sewing room for almost 3 full weeks, I did manage to work on a couple things in here. First is my Saturday sampler block. This is the May block, and I did have to go get oops fabric. I had accidentally sewn right side to wrong side with the red dots, and after I had cut the triangles out, I realized it and said, "Cripes." And I looked at the clock, and I probably could have made it to the quilt shop last night with like 2 minutes to spare. But I don't do that to anybody when I know that they are probably working on getting packaged up for the day. So I went at 1 o'clock today to go pick up the oops fabric, and I also got to pick up my block of the month. So I got that done this afternoon. I also got the binding done for a quilt that I want to have the binding done by Saturday Sampler Show and Tell. I am going to delay sharing the finished project with the YouTube people because, yeah, the person who it's going to, I think, watches the videos. So, yeah, you're not going to get to have anything until after it's given to the intended recipient. So, sorry. uh, but yeah, it's taken me a little bit of effort to get my sojo back, get everything back into the swing of things, as is identified by the fact that I goofed on my Saturday sampler. But while I was up in Massachusetts, I had been jonesing to get back in here, and now that I'm back in here, I've just been excited, but it's also been a little bit difficult just to get back into the swing of things. And hopefully, I'll be able to get a little bit of time this week in here and take care of the couple little projects that I want to get done. Now that the exciting part of the video is over, what goals do I have for this next week? So first, I need to get this binding done. I think I'm going to try to get it sewn to the top while this video is processing and uploading. We'll see what happens. If anything, it hopefully won't take too long to get sewn up there, and it'll probably end up being machine stitched down, mostly because of time. And they're also dark colors. I do not want to sit and look at dark colors sewing hand binding. So I've got really awesome thread up there that I think I'm going to use, so it'll hide everything. Second goal is to get the fabric haul video out. It's probably going to be 2 videos. The first video is going to be nothing but fabric, just because I have those separated by shop. I went a little bit overboard, but it happens. The second video is going to be patterns in books that I bought because those came home in my backpack, not just because they're heavier. I didn't want to add additional weight to what got shipped because I shipped 38 pounds of fabric home. So adding those handful of books, it would have been well over 40. And, they would have just shuffled around. I didn't want them to get damaged. So I'm going to have a separate book and pattern one. I also, since they were in my backpack, I don't know which shop I bought which patterns from. So yeah, that's the other reason why it's going to be a separate video. Hopefully I can get those recorded soon. Definitely going to get the fabric video recorded this week. The pattern video may end up being next week sometime. We'll see. It just all depends on what kind of craziness goes on at work this week. So that's about it for today. I know I had a whole lot going on. So thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you aren't already. It is the easiest way to tell the algorithm that folks enjoy my content and to spread it around to people like you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.